G'day guys and welcome to the Goodyear Autocare Warana V8T2 E-Series. We are live with you guys at home at the Sebring International circuit. Unfortunately, we are having slight technical issues. Queensland's decided to put on a bit of a weather for us, so the wind's blowing and we are losing frame rate rapidly. So bear with us, guys. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it does come good later on down in the broadcast. But joining me tonight in the booth, unfortunately, we had to say goodbye to Aidan Schultz last week, and unfortunately, he couldn't make it. I couldn't make it in the booth either last week due to commitments outside of work, but in replacing Aidan tonight is a good friend of mine, Sean from the Nationwide Tracking Systems V8 Super Series. Sean, mate, how are you?
I'm good, mate. How about yourself?
Good, mate. Now, thank you for joining me tonight. Thank you for stepping in for Aidan. Mate, Sebring, you've already raced here. You raced here last night. What's the track like? Is it technical? Is it fast? Is it flowing? It's what are the drivers going to be expecting tonight out there?
It's everything you listed above. It's it's a low bit of track. Difficult in these cars to master, but you're really got to be on the edge the whole time. So braking performance key here. So we'll see how these guys in the GAC series get around the track. But yeah, it's a combination of fast and flowing, tight and twisty. It really throws everything at you and challenges you big time.
Mate, I've seen some good races held here already through some other leagues, and obviously last night's one did not disappoint with the Nationwide Tracking Systems V8 Super Series. But tonight, ladies and gentlemen, it's the up-and-coming drivers for the Goodyear V8T2 E-Series. We've got Scholesy, who has put in an absolutely blistering time along with Rehan. They've both dipped into the ones, and David Nash has also just dipped into the ones as well with a 201.99. So Nash finished up second last week, I believe, so it's good to see him out on top, Shawnee. Now, obviously, the big talking point here is Rehan. He hasn't had a bit of any luck, really, but he's up there tonight, and it's good to see him sticking it with the big guns.
Yeah, absolutely. After Watkins Glen, I think he learned a couple of lessons there, so it'll be interesting to see how he goes tonight in the race, and important to start at the pointy end, and he's putting in a great effort tonight. But look out for Kai Turner, I think, in P5. I think he's got race pace to burn, so we'll see how that looks as well.
That's it, guys. All right, we'll go to our track notes for you guys at home. We are here at Sebring International Circuit for the sprint round. We've got 5.95 kilometres in length to cover, 107 kilometres in distance, which equates to about 18 laps. So we've got one pit stop for the boys, so obviously critical lap number is going to be around the lap 9, lap 10. They've got 44 litres of fuel on board tonight, and they are burning 4.4 litres a lap. So lap 10 might be pushing it. We will see how the boys go. They've got 2 sets of tyres tonight to use. They've got a fresh set that they'll bolt on before they take off on the grid. Then they'll have another set to use when they pit. So we've just wrapping up the final minutes in qualifying tonight. But track temp is up there. It's at 26 degrees, but it's a nice, cool 26 degrees in the air temp, and that is because it is about 6, I'd say about 10 to 7, 5 to 7 in the qualifying session as we get out to the race start for a 7 p.m. start. So the wind is blowing in a northerly at about 3 k's. So obviously wind's a big thing for the V8s as well, Shawnee. So obviously, I'm not good with my directions around Sebring. So, northerly, is that going to be affecting them on the main straight, the back straight there?
Don't throw the compass at me, mate. But yeah, the wind's not too strong, so I think they'll be all right with it. But certainly, I think tonight it's a tyre strategy race. So we learned last night. You can go early, you can go late. So it'll be interesting to see who does what in this race.
Tyre issue is always the worst enemy between us as drivers, especially the boys, you guys, I should say, who only actually get one set for the race, which you get to bolt on during your pit stop. So that makes it a little bit difficult as we round up the minutes. We've still got Matty Scholes out on top with Leonage in second, followed up by David Nash. Our returning driver, Jamie Davis, down there in 4th position. Kai Turner, last week's race winner, he is down in 5th position currently with our man, Nicky G, In 6th, we've got Daryl Hockey in 7th with a 2:02.75. And then we've got, I'll rephrase that one, Dylan Pereira just jumps up into 6th position with a 2:02.56. Then it's Nicholas Gearich in 7th, Daryl Hockey in 8th, Dan Stevens in 9th, and Jonathan Bain rounding out your top 10. We've just clicked over 3 minutes to go in qualifying, guys. We'll bring up some championship points for you. And the big news of last week, David Nash, Sean, he copped 60-point penalty for impeding cars in qualifying. So, as you can see, mate, that has really knocked him down the order in the top 10.
Absolutely. It's been a good rule that's come in this year, and the points penalty in qualifying impeding. So drivers need to learn the lesson, stay out of the way. Otherwise, it will hurt big time in championship world.
Well, as we can see, David Nash, he would have been on 780 points. So I would have set him up there just in front of Sam Noble, up in 6th position. But Kai Turner, last week's race winner, he is out in front with a nice little buffer of 27 points over Dan Stevens in 2nd. Nicky G down there in 3rd with a few good results lately. Matty Scholes, our pole sitter at the moment in qualifying, on 805 points in 4th. Daryl Hockey on 801 points down in 5th. Sam Noble, 773. Dean Alessi down in 7th with 772 points. The young Rehan Leonage, who's hoping to have a good race and make up for last week's efforts, down in 8th with 726 points. David Nash down in 9th with 725. And then rounding out your top 10, ladies and gentlemen, is Tony Gaffer, smack bang on 700 points, as I'm trying to find my timing data, and I'm not having much luck as it decides to go quiet on me. So technical issues down in Victoria tonight as well, guys. So bear with us on this one. It might be a bit of a long stream. But over to our, obviously, co-sponsors, our minor sponsors, our main sponsors. We've got Goodyear Autocare Warana for the V8T2 E-Series. They're our main sponsors tonight, guys, with our co-sponsors of Blue Stampede Labour Hire and Abruzzi Wear Australia. We've also got down there Hybrid Racing Simulations, SDK Gaming, and the camera angles for you tonight are brought to you by Track Cams for Gourmet. But, you know, Sean, every week we say it, this stream isn't possible without our director, JP. He sits behind the scenes. He whispers in our ears all race, does our head in because we can never hear him because he's that bloody quiet. But he does an amazing job on the clicker, mate. He does an amazing job on the mouse, bringing you all these overlays that SDK have given us and all these amazing camera angles. So, mate, big hats off to him, I'd say.
Yeah, absolutely. And not to mention the reach that we've got. You know, look, Ryan Walker watching from Ireland at the moment. G'day, Ryan. Thanks for tuning in. But it's not just about people in Australia tuning into this. JP does a great job overall and turning into a worldwide broadcaster. But yeah, the pictures on screen are stunning, and it's going to be an absolutely cracking race. So tune in, drop some comments down below, and we'll see if we can't keep up with some stuff tonight.
Mate, that's it. Give us some comments down below. Talk to us in the commentary booth. Guys, let us know where you're from. We love to see where you are watching. You kicked back on the couch with a beer, or you're out in the shed playing with the cars or the boats. Maybe you got your race car of yourself. So let us know. I mean, Sean will relay it back to us, no doubt. JP probably will do the same as we wrap up the final laps. Or the clicker is now down to 0. So final cars going across the line now, getting the last little bits in of their qualifying session. My timing's all lit up with red with everyone in the pits. So few cars out on track.
Top 15s in the pits. We've got a couple of cars. Mr. Martin just jumped up one spot into P16. Peter Latham and Dylan Ligard still out there turning some laps. But it looks like the top 10 is pretty secure.
Yep, Dylan Ligard down there in 27th. Hopefully he can make amends and make up a few spots. His teammate just in front of him, Stephen Black, as well. It looks like he's still out on track as well. So the E1 Sim Sports drivers are down the back of the field tonight. Mate, I'm trying to find your teammates as well. Mac, the owner of the 9-5 Sim Sport team as well, who's commentating with me tonight. Sean, he's got got a couple boys in. Who have we got in tonight, mate, on your
Mate,
bar?
we've got Sam Noble on the 953. He's down in 15th. Hasn't turned too many laps this week, but and Mitch Campbell's down in 28th. You'll be disappointed with that, but I reckon you'll see a hard charger against his name at the end of it. So we'll see how we go.
We're always got the hard charger award, mate. And before we get the boys lined up on the starting grid for everybody at home, I'll do a driver pick. Who's going to be the one to take out tonight's round?
Oh, look, you know what? I'm actually going to sit with Daryl Hockey. Sorry, Mr. Hockey. Jamie Davis as well. I'm going to sit in the fence. You know what? I'm going to go Jamie Davis.
Well, he's a returning driver, so he's in for a good finish last week. He had third, so who knows? I'm sticking with Rian. He's due for a win. He's put in some fantastic times. He's only one of 3 drivers to dip into the 201s tonight. So, and he was the first driver tonight to dip into the 201. So this track's obviously really, really gelling for young Rihan tonight. So I'm backing him every week. I'm hoping he gets a win, and I reckon this week's it. So if you're watching, mate, hopefully Rihan can bring it home for the NTS boys.
I'm sure he's deep in the screen behind Rian right now.
I'm sure relaying every message, try and get that start nailed. You're on the front row, son, so do the best you can. But, guys, we've got the map up on screen. We are in the United States. We are almost finished up doing our United States tour up here before we come back to the land down under. We have got little glimpses of drivers gridding up as we speak for the Sebring International Sprint Round for you guys. 18 laps, 5.95 kilometers in length, just over 105 kilometers in distance, 107 to be precise. And we'll bring up our starting grid for you on screen. Matty Scholes out topped everybody by only a couple tenths of a second over Rehan Linage. We've got on the second row David Nash and Jamie Davis. Rounding out the third row, we've got Daryl Hockey from Middle Finger Racing and Kai Turner from Middle Finger Racing. It's a row 3 lockout by the Middle Finger Racing boys. We've got Dylan Pereira, the rookie to the season. Alongside him is Nicky Garrich in row 4. We've got in row 5, we've got Dan Stevens and Dean Reddit. Row 6, we have Jonathan Bain, race control for the Nationwide Tracking Systems Super Series. And alongside him is Troy Allen. We've got on row, I'm trying to do my numbers here, and I'm not working tonight, but row 7, we've got Aaron Racanello. Alongside him is Damian Cairns, Dean Alessi, and Sam Noble round out row 8. Stephen Martin from the Century Motorsports team is alongside Brian Good on row 9. Got Luke Georgeson, Dean Williams on row 10. Colin Bruns, Robbie Bradbury on row 11. And Peter Latham and Tony Guffer rounding out your row 12 there. On row 13, we've got David Clark, Stephen Black. 14, we've got Dylan Lagarde and Mitch Campbell from 95 Sim Sports. On row 15, we've got Stephen Banks and Aaron Hayden. Paul Gerlin and Robert Braw is on row 16. Thomas Foster, Andrew Johnson on row 17. Todd Martin and Gavin Sadler is on row 18. As the revs start rising, the lights are on. We've got the red lights. 1, 2, 3, 4. The Sebring International Sprint is underway, ladies and gentlemen, for the Goodyear Autocare Warana V8T2 E-Series. Matty Scholes got a blistering start along with Rehan Leonos, but he's dropping down spots viciously as he gets freight trained into turn 1 by David Nash, Daryl Hockey, and Jamie Davis. He's just dropped 4 positions, Sean, in a matter of 1 turn. So not the start that Rehan was looking for. As they come through turn 2, turn 3, mate, you're actually probably going to have to call this one because I actually don't know my turns around here.
But yeah, Rehan just bogged down a little bit. But down to the hairpin, it looks like Matty Scholes, great start out front there. It's pulled away nice and clear. It's got a little bit of an air gap. Everyone looks like they've got through turns 3, 4 complex pretty well as well. And there's a 95 Sim Sport in the car background making a little move. But Jamie Davis, my pick, up to P4, picked a spot. So we'll see what Rehan can do to close that back in.
Yeah, no, Rehan just bogged down off the start a little bit. Those nerves getting to him. Remember, guys, he is only 11 years of age. 11. So that is... Yeah, little whippersnapper. Yes, correct. So he is not even half the age of most drivers in the field. He is about sometimes 30 years younger. As we had a car off the back of the field, we will come back to a replay for that one, ladies and gentlemen, as we've got Nikki G on screen in the Goodyear Autocare Warana
Too
car.
wide.
Now we're on to Jamie Davis, too wide.
There's hockey.
Coming around up to Sunset Bend, they are, I believe, or is this back straight? No, this is coming onto the back straight.
Onto the back straight now, yep.
Onto the back straight we come. So I am already a few corners ahead of myself. It's been a week out of the seat, and I'm already screwing up. So bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully the stream has sorted itself out for you guys as we come to the end of lap 1. Yes, it says lap 2 on your screen, but we are still on lap 1. Through Sunset Bend they go. Down on to the main straight they come. Rehan Leonage just having a peek through there. He's just watching these boys fight it out. He's got Jamie Davis and Daryl Hockey up in front of him. But apparently it's saying Mitch Campbell is leading the field, but he is not. So I'll go Matty Scholes out in front with David Nash, his teammate, just behind him. And then you got Daryl Hockey, Jamie Davis, Rehan Leonage, Dan Stephen, Dylan Pereira, the rookie of the season, off to a flying start. Last week's race winner, Kai Turner, is down in 9th. He's dropped 3 positions off the start. And Nikki G's dropped 2 positions down into 10th. So a few bad starts by a couple people. But the biggest drop is Dean Reddit, down 25 position.
Yeah, there you go. And, looking at Sam Noble up 5 spots by the look of it, Sam Noble.
Yep. And Robert Braw is the biggest mover so far, up 7 positions, even though our timing screen says Mitch Campbell's up 27. That is not true. Robert Braw is up 7 positions as we've got Nikki G on all over the back of, I'll just scroll up here, of Kai Turner here. I should know the car. I've seen it plenty of times out the front. Of really applying that pressure to last week's race winner. A little fumble coming out of that corner though, Sean. So maybe the tyres aren't that warm yet.
No, not at the temp. You've got to give it a couple laps here. And 26-degree track temp, it's not that hot. So on a concrete surface, you really lap 3/4 when it starts to come in. So a bit of patience needed from the boys, and we'll see what it looks like in the next lap or two. But they're all pretty well behaved on the first couple of laps, just sitting in the slipstream, maybe saving some fuel early on.
Well, saving fuel is not on Matty Scholes' mind. He's just posted a 2:07.9, but he gets overtaken by Daryl Hockey for 3rd position. So might have been a little bit of a mistake there. As we're on board looking back out the back of Dylan Pereira's car at Kai Turner here as they come down the main straight across the start-finish line. Into turn 1 they come. Little look from Kai Turner on Dylan, but couldn't get the nose up in there and show it to him. Daryl Hockey all over the back now of Jamie Davis, giving that liquid moly entry car the lights in those mirrors. Just behind him, Matty Scholes trying to make up positions and get back in a second. So maybe there might have been a slowdown for Matty Scholes, I reckon. As we go to a simsnap.com replay for you of Jamie Davis. So there we go. That gives us the sign, Sean. That was a slowdown for Matty Scholes. 3 wide into turn 1. Jamie Davis has the perfect run in that auto serve entry, and up the inside he goes and slots into 2nd position. So now my timing board's fixed. I can actually call the positions properly. So he's now up 2 spots from where he started from. Mate, a little bit of a clean start though for the field. We haven't seen heard anything from race control so far. So obviously must have been a pretty clean start in my books.
Yeah, look, certainly a nice clean start. And David Nash, he's on a mission. 2:02.91. He's 3/10 quicker than anyone else at the moment on track. So he's got head down, bum up. And obviously Matty Scholes there, obviously got to slow down, like you said, and he's dropped back a bit. But bit of a shout out to Jay Eagle from Rotorua, New Zealand, another international viewer. Thanks for tuning in tonight, mate. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for tuning in, mate. You've got a fellow New Zealander in the field tonight, Andrew Johnston. He's down the back of the field at the moment. He didn't get the best of starts, unfortunately. But he's down in 31st position currently. So your fellow Kiwi is in there tonight, mixing it up with the boys. As we go to another simsnap.com replay, something has gone on. I've heard in my ear. David Nash, what's happened? Because he's handed Jamie Davis the lead. So I have a feeling a little bit too much.
Oh, it's run wide there, yep.
Run wide into the grass, onto the back straight. That is not what you want to happen, Macca.
Absolutely not. And he knew he was defeated there. He stayed in the race line, but just quietly saying, Jamie Davis to the front.
That's it. He's on a mission. He is on a mission, Macca. He's just on a 2:02.6, so he's not messing around. He's finally got clean air coming through the grill of that Ford Mustang of his. But look who's already back on the bumper of that car. Nash has closed right in already. So
I think this certainly, just to jump in there, it certainly shows this track surface, cold temps, was a big move.
Oh, Rehan, excellent on the brakes. A little bit deep. No, gets it pulled up in time. Awesome overtake move. That's textbook by the young Rehan Leonage there. But back to what you were saying, Macca.
Well, absolutely, and that's what you can do with some tyre temp. So a couple of little mistakes early on in the first couple of laps, like I said, just let the sides come up, and then look, Ben's done a great job. He was actually on the wrong side, and he's flicked it back across the back. That's perfect. Down the inside. That is an absolutely cracking move. Good cooperation as well from the Liga Molly car. But that's brilliant from Rehan.
That was Dan Stevens at Rehan went around there. So Rehan just up into 5th position now, is down 3 spots from where he started. As there goes Aaron Raccanello on Nicky G. So race control will finally get a look as we go to a simsnap.com replay. Macca, talk us through this one, mate.
It certainly looks like a couple of cars have run wide there.
Well, there's your car in there.
There's one of mine, and then a bit of an opportunistic move up the inside and a little bit of carnage there. So look, I think the first bit will probably be a racing incident. I reckon there'll be a penalty coming the Dragon RC car way.
I think so too, mate. I'm not one to call the race control decisions, but they will be having a very, very close look at that. Was there enough room made or not, as Rehan and Dan Stevens are still on. Dan Stevens has a big slide exiting the corner and almost takes out Leonage. That was big.
Gives Rehan a little bit of breathing room, and now Dan's got a bit of work to fight off Dylan, who's coming pretty quick in behind him as well. So
for the rookie of the season, Macca, Dylan Pereira, he is a blistering quick driver. He just unfortunately cannot get the race finished either without a penalty or without incident. So fingers crossed he can have a good result tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something we're talking in our team quite a fair bit about is those 1%ers. And you can get quick drivers who tend to make little mistakes and get caught up in bits and pieces. But hopefully Dylan has a good run tonight. This is a pretty willing little battle right here.
As we got Dylan Pereira all over the back of Dan Stevens, but Dan Stevens' teammate Kai Turner not far behind. He's all over the back of that DSL rear bumper of Dylan Pereira as they come down towards the, am I calling it rightish, Mac, at the back straight coming up here?
We are coming up to it through the I'm a little bit surprised with Kai, actually, and it's an interesting little...
Oh, Dylan with a big kick out the back end.
So up on the inside, this will be a good run. So it'll be interesting to see who takes the choice here. Who's going to break deep on the outside on the race line, or who's going to do what on the inside? But that's smart from Dylan.
That's Dylan Pereira backs out nice and early. Hands Kai that position. Now he'll slot back and get into that slipstream. He has run wide as it's on the front here with David Nash and Jamie Davis, your race leaders out here at the Sebring International Circuit. We are on lap 6, just clicked over onto lap 6 of 18 tonight. So the boys are starting to think about pit stops coming up. They are got 13 laps to go. The critical number is about lap 9, I believe, Macca, with about 4 litres of burn. Yep. So that's when they'll look, but there's no safety car. So maybe they get a safety car, and if they do, that is going to throw a big spanner in the works.
Absolutely. Safety car there, you'd be very, very tempted to jump in, but it'd be interesting to see what David does. So he was the only car in the 202s on that last last lap. So he'll be looking for an undercut. If he can get in on lap 8, fresh tyres, you only need a couple of tenths, and he may pull into P1 there. But we'll see what happens.
Dan Stevens, I hear in the back of my ear with another simsnap.com replay.
It looks like Clyde Turner's actually gone around as well.
Runs wide out on the grass. Oh no, the teammates take each other out. Kai Turner, our championship leader, has just been taken out by his teammate, Dan Stevens. That is big news. They are 1 and 2 in the championship, and that is not good. So there is a a bonnet missing on Kai Turner's ZB Commodore. That is definitely going to make a bit of an impact, as I have my dogs going off. I apologise about that one.
But certainly in and around here, big damage. Obviously a fast repair, so he'll be looking, I would say he'll be someone who'll be jumping in on lap 8. But here, any damage, big long straights, certainly hurts. It actually looked like Dan Stevens has rolled in behind Kai after that as well. So no doubt both cars would have been damaged, but not ideal.
Yeah, they're down in 17th, 18th position at the moment, so they have dropped a ton of positions as Matty Scholes just goes to the top of the purple board with a 202.63. He is on a mission. He is the fastest car at the moment in the top 10.
Absolutely.
So he's on the move as, again, my internet plays up and I have technical issues with my live timing as I was about to read out the top 10 for you, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe we can get the timing tower up on screen for you, so you guys can see where everyone is sitting at. There we go. We've got Jamie Davis out on top, followed by David Nash. We've got Hockey in third, Matty Scholes in fourth, Rehan Leonage still down there in fifth, as Nash has a look up in Jamie, on the inside of Jamie. Was that a slowdown or was that just a good run? I missed that.
I think he had a very good. Here we go.
Oh, no! Big news, David Nash just got turned around by Jamie Davis. That is another big incident as Rehan Leonage goes sliding off the track in the foreground there. David Nash.
Jamie's redressed it, but I don't think a redress will be enough there.
No, that's definitely no redress there, mate, as we get a simsnap.com replay. David Nash gets an absolutely blistering run on Jamie Davis. Jamie Davis then goes to go for a switchback, ladies and gentlemen. You'll see that in a second. And it was a blistering switchback too. And unfortunately, just takes out David Nash. Here we go. There's the switchback. 3, 2, 1, bang. Just gets on the brakes a little bit too late. So,
and that's one of those ones where the inside car is going to brake a little bit earlier, and Jamie's just mistimed that switchback, so that's unfortunate.
Unfortunate for him. So now that promotes Daryl Hockey into first position. Matty Scholes up into second position. Rehan with that slide, lucky enough to maintain fifth position as Jamie Davis now pits. And is that a drive-through penalty straight out for him? I believe it is. I don't see him going to a pit box. We'll stay. No, into the pit box he goes. So Jamie Davis into the pits, the first pit stop of the night, getting fresh tyres and fresh fuel into that Mustang of his. As we go on board now with Daryl Hockey out in the race lead, followed by Matty Scholes. David Nash is still reading third on my screen. There he is in the background with the bonnet missing off that car. So hopefully he can get that fixed up and get back out on track nice and quick. Rehan Leonage down in fourth. Dylan Pereira down in fifth position. Jonathan Bain in sixth. Sam Noble down in seventh position. He's up 9 positions, Macca. He's had a good race so far. Dan Williams up 12 positions. Also,
it's on big moment, big wiggle there, but absolutely he's certainly made up a bunch of spots, but he may have cooked the tyres by now.
The tyres will be getting cooked a little bit of heat in them. They will be starting to fade off from these drivers, ladies and gentlemen, as we are on lap 8 of 18. As we ride on board now with Peter Latham as he sits behind the Century Motorsports entry of Robbie Bradbury. as they come. I have no idea where I am on track here, Macca. I apologise, and apologise to everybody at home.
Certainly.
It's been a busy week outside of the sim world.
Down up in towards the double left here, but and then down into the back straight. But I'll tell you what, there's some cracking battles up and down the field.
As Matty Scholes has a look up the inside of Daryl Hockey, coming down the back straight and makes it stick. Matty Scholes up into first position now. Daryl Hockey pulls out nice and early, but right back onto the back bumper. Daryl Hockey goes. Does he get the run onto the main straight? We'll stay with this battle and find out. Daryl Hockey on the outside. Matty Scholes runs defensive. Bit of a big move by Matty Scholes. Is that going to be looked at by race control? We don't know, but he was back onto the racing line. He wasn't under brakes. He didn't move under brakes, so I would class that as all clear. He might have thought that Daryl Hockey may have been behind him. There are mirrors in the sim. You can see what's behind you, but sometimes you don't know they're sitting on your quarter panel on your left or your right, unless you're in the VR and can see those side mirrors, or your crew chief is telling you. So a lot of these boys, ladies and gentlemen, they're running the crew chief setup. He will tell you how much fuel you got left. He will tell you your split times. He will tell you how far behind you are from the driver in front, or how far ahead you are from the driver behind you. He'll also tell you your different sector splits. So, or should I say, who your fastest driver is on track at the moment. So, or who you're faster than. So those boys will be utilising crew chief, no doubt, as we are on now lap 9 of 18 for the Goodyear Autocare Warana V8T2 E-Series. Now is the critical lap. You will start to see the pit lane light up. The boys are getting low on fuel. The tyres are starting to run away from them, ladies and gentlemen. Macca, obviously, tyres big around here. Track grip, it is low. The temps are low. I don't know what the usage is for the track, but it is obviously getting up there as the race goes on. But obviously, tyres is a big talk, mate. Give us a run of that one.
So tyre degs, it's not too bad here with the new updates, but you're talking probably 3-4 tenths a lap. So no doubt you'll see Matty Scholes here. And just on before, Jamie Davis has been given a black flag for that incident, so he will be serving a little sojourn. But here comes the first lot of pit stops for the leaders.
Ladies and gentlemen, look at this big wiggle under brakes by Daryl Hockey as Rehan Leonish follows them into the pits. That is it. Pit lane is lighting up. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars into pit lane. Who else follows? There's the 6 in the background as there's a car that goes around for an extra lap. Another 2 cars peel off into the split lane. So let's watch this. Matty Scholes, Daryl Hockey, our race leaders, up on they go. Let's see who has the shortest pit stop of the night.
I think you'll find that Daryl's been in he's been in a slipstream for a fair bit of this. So it'd be interesting to see if he's saved a little bit of fuel compared to Matty having to fight through the field. So
there they go. Matty Scholes off the jacks first. Daryl Hockey off the jacks second. But the big news is Daryl Hockey had a faster pit time than Matty Scholes. So I wonder what happened there. He might have just we didn't see him overshoot, but it could have been minute where he had to back up only a couple mils. So that is big news. Tyres are now cold. They are on a cold track. They do not mix, Macca.
They do not, mate. So again, same as the start of the race. The next couple of laps are going to be critical. But Matty Scholes, he's been quick. He's only got a couple of cars in front of him. There's only 2 cars that didn't pit on that. So it's interesting that Gapper and Brewer stayed out. Whether or not they pitted or they're completely out of sequence, not sure. But look, next couple of laps, absolutely critical. As Turner is off track again as well in the back.
Yes, I did see that light up on my screen as well, Mac. Kai Turner, looks like he did take a trip through the grass to mow a few lawns for the Sebring International circuit, give them and make their night a little bit easy. But overall, I must admit, mate, the racecraft tonight has been good. There hasn't been too many incidences so far. There hasn't been many replays that we've had to go back to.
No, absolutely.
As we go to Steve.com replay. So here we go. Kai Turner on your screen for the replay. Almost collects his teammate. Oh, hard just. Back wiggle, too much rear brake. And like I said, mate, takes a little bit of a trip through the grass to mow the lawns for the boys over at Sebring. As his teammate rounds him up on the inside there.
maybe a few too many of his teammates around him at the moment. Needs a bit of space, and he can get on with it.
That's it, mate. We've got effectively your race leader.
Robert Brewer, he has left it too long. Yeah, there's something didn't seem right for him to stay out that long. He is out of fuel. This could be a safety car.
Robert Brewer rounds out of fuel. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is no doubtly going to bring out a safety car for you tonight. They're going to try not to, but I definitely see that is in one of the fastest parts of the circuit tonight. So that is definitely going to be bringing out a safety car, no doubt.
You would think so. Stopped on the back straight. Fastest part of the track, as you said. But we'll see what race control do. They may let it run here.
Might get some clear track. They might be able to get the tractor out to him and give him a quick pull off the track there. We will see as we're on lap 11 of 18. Matty Scholes now out to nearly a 2-second lead over Daryl Hockey.
So last lap, on the out lap, Matt Scholes was 1.5 seconds quicker than Mr. Hockey there. So obviously whatever's happened in the pit lane there, plus the out lap, Matty Scholes was.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. They have slowed down by the looks of it. There might be a safety car, or Scholes had a slowdown. He's only in 40 down the straight, so that coming down into the hairpins. So might be. There it is, safety car out on track for you, ladies and gentlemen. He will give the wave around to the slower drivers as race control. Our chief steward of race control tonight, Anton Gilbert from the E1 Sim Racing. Mate, how you going?
Good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, good. What news have you got for us tonight?
It's actually been an excellent start for the boys. We've had to call a safety car there. Unfortunately, Rob Brewer in the car 006 has become stranded. Not in a safe position, so we're going to get the safety car out there, bunch the field back up. We'll get him out of the way and we'll get back racing. But it's been a pretty good night. Unfortunately, we've had to hand out a penalty there to Jamie in car 92 for contact with 911 on lap 7. It was just a good opportunity to come in and point out that even though the position was readdressed, and normally that's what we like to see, and let the drivers carry on when the damage to the car not responsible for the contact is too much to continue on at the same pace. Unfortunately, we have to take action. So Jamie Davis, on his return back to the series, unfortunately will be taking a drive through for that one.
As we see the safety car go for a trip, long way around on the circuit, they're going through the cones. Maybe just trying to wait up for these leaders. I'm not sure if he actually let them by or not, but no, he's waiting for him. I hear in the back ear. Anton, mate, it's obviously off the race start. We didn't see too many incidences. Was it a clean race start tonight?
It was excellent. It was exactly what we were looking for. There was a lot of respect shown, but the boys certainly took no prisoners on their fight up front.
Excellent, mate. Thank you very much for joining us in the booth, ladies and gentlemen. Anton Gilbert, I should say, if I can spit my words out correctly, our chief steward for tonight in race control, joining us and giving us an update. Hopefully, he doesn't have to jump back into the booth tonight and give us any more updates. Hopefully, it's clean racing as the boys are picking up the pace a little bit just to catch up to the safety car. So we'll wonder how long the boys are going to be behind the safety car for. Hopefully, it's only another lap or two. There's already been one lap under safety car, which we haven't really seen on screen. Craig Schultz pulled the gun a little bit too early, I think, coming out of the pits in the safety car. There it is in the foreground there. So now they get bunched up. Now, Sean, this really throws a spanner into the works. The boys, do they save as much fuel as they can, or do they try and burn a little bit extra to
burn it up?
Burn it up and try and run that tank a little bit dry to get that run home.
Yeah, absolutely. They'll be saving, obviously they're at 3/4 pace then, but this next lap you would think it'd come in pretty quick. They'll save a couple of litres. I think all these guys will have 1.5 to 2 laps spare by the end of the race. So it is absolutely full throttle from this point. No fuel saving, and we'll see how it goes.
Obviously, ladies and gentlemen, the average fuel burn tonight, as I said earlier at the start, is 4.4 litres a lap. 44 litres of fuel can go into the car. So that equates, obviously, if you can do your maths nice and quick, that is 10 laps of racing that you can do. But when you come across the start-finish line, you are going to run out of fuel. So it's technically only around 9 laps that you will be able to get out of this tank tonight as we come around Sebring for the Goodyear Autocare Warana V8T2 E-Series.
Certainly, you would certainly think that it was an easy car to clear. All the field's in line under race control, safety car control. So yeah, you think we'll get back to it this lap. Shout out to a couple of certain hard chargers. Sam Noble up 10 spots. Dean Williams up 12 spots in P8.
Yes.
Sam's in P6. Certainly down in 25th. Gavin Sadler up 11 spots. Hard to be in 25th when you've gained 11 as well, but that's an absolutely big one. But Dean Reddit's still the biggest loser at the moment, down 12 spots in 22nd spot.
Actually, Jamie Davis is now the new biggest loser, mate, if I look at it correctly. It's with that drive-through penalty, unfortunately, has dropped him all the way down to the back of the field in 33rd position as the safety car comes around for one more lap. I reckon this might be it, Macca. This might be the last lap for the safety car. The boys will be going green, I'd say, most likely after this lap. Obviously, looking to next week, mate. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting.
Indeed, it's you go from this circuit where it's quite open and flowy to Mosport where it's quite tight and technical. Very, very different track. Hilly, undulating. It's going to really challenge these guys on fixed setups, and it's going to be really good to see who comes out. And it's the sort of track that it'll mix up the results. The guys that are quick on these tracks don't tend to be quick on other tracks or those types of tracks. So it'd be interesting to see who pops up to the front and who can maybe make up some spots next week. But just whilst it's on screen, how good does that safety car look?
Mate, that Goodyear Autocare safety car looks the business on that beautiful Lamborghini. Maybe we can even get an onboard shot here while he quickly goes around before he jumps back into the pits. As, ladies and gentlemen, we have the sun going down here at Sebring. The lights have come onto the safety car. The lights have come onto the V8 supercars. There's the onboard view for you guys in the Hurricane GT3 safety car. Lucky enough to be able to have this tonight. There he goes. He's put the boot into it. He is away and going back to the pit. So he is now given control to the field maker, to Matty Scholes. Well, actually, no, he hasn't gone yet.
I think it's almost lights out. Certainly,
almost
we
lights
are
out.
going green this lap. So up and around. So we're going to see, as usual, once the lights are out, everyone's going to maintain a line and maintain pace. So we'll see what Matty Scholes and, of course, Hockey and Leonage can do from P3. So, and lurking in P4, Mr. Pereira.
Yes, he's had an awesome race tonight. Dylan Pereira up in 4th position. He's up 3 positions from his qualifying position. And here we go. We have eyes. Does the safety car run away from the field here? There he goes.
It looks like everyone behind is... Oh, they're still holding.
They're still holding, so safety car lights might be on. Oh, there he goes.
Just doesn't want to... Oh, there's actually a couple of cars still weaving behind the safety car, further back in the field, so... Interesting to see if race control pick up. The safety car hasn't cleared out as yet.
No, he hasn't. They might be going for one more lap here. It might be
a fight.
Oh, no,
okay,
there he goes.
There he goes.
Few more cars. There they go. They stopped weaving. Safety car lights out were called, and they pulled straight back into line. So race control will be a little bit lenient for that. A little bit hard to stop weaving a car instantly when they call it. As they come around through the final bend, Matty Scholes has controls of the field here as he puts the boot into it, and they pile up all behind everyone another as they get up into that slipstream. Matty Scholes across the line to start. Should I say, start lap 13, I believe, of 18. No, lap 14 of 18. My apologies. So, Racing has resumed. Matty Scholes out in front, followed by Daryl Hockey. Leonage down in third. David Nash in fourth. Dylan Pereira in fifth. Looks like everyone got through the first couple of turns nice and clean and down the straight nice and clean. Weren't too many moves. Couple little shuffles throughout the field. Nothing major. Sam Noble's up in sixth position, still up 10. So he's had a fantastic race on the charge. Nicholas Gearage down in 8th. He has not moved to position by the looks of it, so he's still where he started in the race. Same with Dean Alessi down in 15th. As Matty Scholes, there's a car turned around in the hairpin, and who is that? Damien Cairns in the switch panel entry. We'll go to a sim snapshot or simsnap.com a replay for you, ladies and gentlemen. Find out what happens as they come down.
Ooh, looks like he might have done this by himself.
Just a little bit too much brake. Oh, they slowed down a little bit too much and just, yep, he put that brake pedal through the firewall and just turned himself around, unfortunately. Gets collected by another car there, by one of the Dragon RC entries. Unsure who that might have been. That might have been Aaron Raccanello, possibly. So Damien Cairns back out on track now. Rehan Leonage up into third position. He's having another fantastic result tonight. Obviously, this track's gelling. I've been wanting him to win a race, but tonight's just not his night. Matty Scholes and Daryl Hockey are just too quick for him, but he's still hanging on to him. He's not that far behind him.
Absolutely, and he's doing a great job. And there's a cracking battle at the moment in 8th and 9th between D. Williams and Jonathan Bang. They're side by side through the last corner, fighting big time down. So here it is. Look at this.
The Liquid Moly entry and the Auto Serve entry, ladies and gentlemen, down into turn 1. And there goes Jonathan Bang as he clips the grass on the inside. Has a little bit of a wiggle, but able to maintain as Dean Williams collects the cones on the entry to the corner there. So Jonathan Bang clears Dean Williams there and makes a move down and hunts down. Who's in front of Jonathan Bang tonight? Nicholas Gearage, or Nicky G as we like to call him.
Indeed.
It's a bit of a Tony Gaffer out on your screen at the moment. Up on the inside of the Liquid Moly. Oh, a little bit of a slide. Nice save there. Tony Gaffer on the Penrite entry. Gaps away and off onto the next driver for him. Mate, obviously a week off commentary. It's sort of, I've lost my voice for it, unfortunately. The throat's starting to get a little bit sore.
Well, I'm trying to step in a bit more, but I'm a bit new to this, mate. So,
mate, no, it's all right. That's fine. To be honest, I wouldn't mind having you on for weeks to come. I've got Zach joining me next week, ladies and gentlemen, as we head to Mosport. But we're on board with Stephen Martin at the moment from the Century Esports entry. Stephen, a Victorian as well. Having a fairly good showing tonight. He's up 6 positions from where he started. He started down in 17th. He's up into 11th now. So solid race by Stephen. 1 spot out of the 10. So we'll see if he can challenge Brian Good, he's up 8 positions in position 10. So Brian with another fantastic race, and Colin Bruns there in that battle as well, up 9 positions in the 111. He's down there in 12th. So that battle there for 10th, 11th, and 12th. They had a amazing race for them tonight. I think possibly one of their best races from memory as well. So as we see Tommy Foster on Dylan Legard.
We're going to go around at turn 1.
Brian, oh no, don't say Brian Good. I've just gave him a good rap as well. So it is to Brian Good.
Oh, it's close.
Oh, and he's stopped there on the apexes, or on the just off the racing line there on the inside. So wonder what's happened to Brian as he gets a little bit of a he gets a love tap by Stephen Martin. That is so unfortunate, and he just gives it the old flick around and parks it up on the inside there just to let the field clear, as that is probably one of the fastest corners of the racetrack, ladies and gentlemen. Turn 1. Mako, we'll jump on board with a driver. We'll do a hot lap. You know the track fairly well, so we'll do it. We'll do a hot lap, and you can talk us through a lap, and then we'll stay on with that driver, and we'll do a crank up the volume for the viewers at home. So we'll see if JP can find a driver for. Yeah, we'll go jump on board with Dylan Pereira in the DSL entry, who's coming down to the back straight, mate. Obviously, give us a run through the lap, what it's like to go through around the Sebring International Circuit, and obviously we were aboard the mighty ZB Holden Commodore V8 Supercar, 650 horsepower, belting down the back straight. Macca, I'll hand it over to you, mate, to run through a lap.
Not a problem. So obviously in through here, we'll catch it at the back end of the next lap, but nice and tight, nice and easy on the throttle. You don't want to pick it up too hard. Pluck up through the gears, nice and wide. You don't have to be all the way out there, but everyone's got a slightly different line. I think it's the line of 100, or what is it, the corner of 100 lines. But hard on the brakes, just past the bridge, down a couple of gears, third gear, hold it in tight. That's perfect from Dylan. Pick up the throttle early, get out to the curb. Could have used a bit more exit. Just at the 3 cone, just before, down into third gear again. Some drivers use second here, climb the curb, hold the gear, turn in late, pick up the throttle early. Hard on the throttle, but controlled. A lot of wheel spin. Up through the gears again, hold tight, float it out to the left, just on the bridge. Again, hard on the brakes. Biggest braking spot in the track here, 90-odd% brake pressure. Down into second gear, first gear for some. He's run a bit wide there. Again, hard on the throttle, up through the gears. Don't ask me to call a corner name or number because I wouldn't have a clue. But up through the left-hander, again, another really big braking spot. So just past the bump here, hard on the brakes, down to second. You can't use the curbs here. You need to stay off them. Any curb just wants to upset the rear of the car. So early shifts through here, up into fourth. As you can see, just caught the curb, a little bit of oversteer. Down into third again. This corner's deceptively quick. It's got a little bit of camber on it. It's the only track on the corner with a bit of camber. And then up through here is good fun. You're pretty much flat with a bit of a safety lift through the middle, right about here, just to keep it tight. Over the curb. That's perfect. Down 2 gears again. In nice and tight. So he's struggling with a bit of front by the looks of it, Dylan, but that's a really nice tight line through there. And you want to get over this curve again. Exit is critical. Again, it's the longest straight effectively on the track. So exit out of there is key. You can lose 3/10, gain 3/10. It's really, really critical. Up into here, just after the 3 witches hats. Let's see how brave he is. Pretty brave. In nice and tight. Down 2 gears. Some drivers click down a third here. And then again, it's about up a gear, nice and smooth on the throttle. He squared the exit up there. That was good. And up through the gears. And that is a lap of Sebring.
Alrighty, guys. Crank up that volume and enjoy a lap of the Sebring International Circuit on board a V8 Supercar.
We are on the last lap.
Oh, actually, holy hell, that is the last lap. So unfortunately, we won't be getting to the crank up the volume. Thank you for pointing that one out, Macca. This race has absolutely flown by. Matty Scholes is out in front, leads just over a second over Daryl Hockey, with Rehan Leonards, the young gun, down in third position. David Nash just behind him in fourth. He's obviously got that car fixed. He's all over the back of Rehan there. Dylan Pereira down in fifth. Sam Noble down in sixth, up 10 positions still. Nicky G in seventh. Rehan Leonards, big slide coming out. Drop. I had to avoid Hockey, unfortunately. Sorry, I'm too busy reading the timetables here. And
he's gone deep. Oh, he's made a mistake there.
He's made the mistake. Out on the grass. Oh, Leonards runs it wide, out on the grass, does a bit of mowing, jumps out in front of Sam Noble. Can he get the power down and still battle for the position? No, he can't. He slots in behind us. Dylan Pereira now gets promoted to fourth position. Can he hunt down Daryl Hockey for a podium? He's a little bit far away, but the lady hasn't sung yet. There still might be a mistake to be made up the front there, but I highly doubt it. Matty Scholes, David Nash, and Daryl Hockey, both experienced drivers, as they come onto the back straight for the final time for the Goodyear Autocare Warana V8T2 E-Series, ladies and gentlemen. Live from Sebring International Circuit for one of our sprint rounds. Matty Scholes around the final corner. comes onto the main straight. Flights are flashing. Matty Scholes, take a bow, mate. That is an absolutely flawless race.
Stunning drive.
Congratulations. David Nash behind him in second. Darryl Hockey in third. Dylan Pereira in fourth. Sam Noble in fifth. Rian Leonage, unfortunately, losing out there in the top 10, 4 positions in sixth position. Nicky G down in seventh. Jonathan Bain in eighth. Dan Williams in ninth. And rounding out your top 10 is Colin Bruns. As we go to a simsnap.com replay just to see exactly what happened to young Rihan Leonage. We'll get back to the racing at the end of the race. That's the big dive.
It's the big dive on the outside.
And just outbreaks himself, unfortunately. That is the last lap nerves right there, Macca.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, certainly, I think it was. So here's the replay. I think no, it's not. So certainly down into this where the guys are going at the moment, actually into this right-hander. It looked like there was a bit of a moment there, and Rian's probably had a bit of red mist and tried to send it deep into that last right-hander. But it's sort of one of those moments where you almost got to consolidate and get yourself to the finish. But what a finish in the back of the pack, just quietly. There was cars going everywhere. There's a bit of a moment for someone onto the finish line straight who ended up reversing across the finish line.
That's not something you get to see every day of the week. Here's a replay, Rian. No, we can't. Just getting word in the ear from our director JP of the incident that I missed, but obviously Macca was able to witness, and you guys at home got to witness. So, absolutely fantastic race tonight, Macca. It was a little bit of push and shove. Robbins racing a little bit more than just rubbing though from a few drivers, especially Jamie Davis, unfortunately finishing up down the back of the field there in 18th position. He still made up a fair few positions. He was down in 32nd, so a little bit of a hard charge at the end of the race for him to come up into 18th. But obviously, biggest loser of the race was Kai Turner, all the way down in 32nd position. He lost out on 26 spots. And our biggest charger of the race is going to David Clark tonight. He started down in 25th position, and he made up 13 spots to get himself into 12th. But Macca, obviously everyone's favourite part of the race. It is a burnout time.
Absolutely. See what Matty's got for us. Should have plenty of fuel in the tank, so keep it away from that wall there, and he'll keep that thing looking good. Not a mark on it.
No, it is looking like a fairly clean Commodore out on track there as he does his victory skid on the main straight. There he goes.
The wall.
Clips the wall just a little bit, but we'll bring you up the unofficial results, ladies and gentlemen, from... Bring them up just a second. Obviously, everything's a bit slow tonight due to this weather. So bear with us. The iRacing safety car on screen for you. Just bringing them up on screen for you in a short moment. There we go. The hybrid racing simulations. Unofficial points is Matty Scholes, or not should I say points, but race results. Matty Scholes out on top there with a 2-second lead over David Nash. Darryl Hockey down in third. Dylan Pereira, his best finish of the season, I believe, down in fourth position there. Sam Noble down in fifth. He had a fantastic race, up 11 positions. Macca, fantastic race by Sam there. Rian Leonage, unfortunately for him, down in sixth position. Nicky G down in, finishes up in seventh. Jonathan Bain finishes up in eighth, followed by Dean Williams and Colin Bruns, rounding out your top 10. Stephen Martin, David Clark, Dean Alessi, Dean Reddit, a few Deans in the field tonight. Tony Gaffer, Robbie Bradbury, Peter Latham, Jamie Davis, Troy Allen, and Mitch Campbell from 95 Sim Sports, rounding out the top 20. Not a fantastic race by him. He'll be a bit disappointed with himself. Dan Stevens, Ara Racanello, Stephen Banks, Dylan Lagarde from E1 Sim Racing down 24th. Thomas Foster down in 25th position, followed by Damien Cairns, Andrew Johnson, Stephen Black, I should say, Aaron Hayden, and Gavin Sadler ran out the 30. Brian Good was on with a fantastic race, but unfortunately got turned around finishing down there in 31st position, and our last week's race winner, Kai Turner, in 32nd. But we have just got an influx of people into the commentary booth tonight. We have our podium first, second, and third. We'll obviously start with our third place sitter, Daryl Hockey, mate. Congratulations on the third place. How was your race?
Oh, mate, that was the best fun I've had in a race car for a long time. That first before the pit stop, that was incredible racing. So, yeah, really enjoyed it. Got a good start and went as I could. So, yeah, happy with that.
Mate, obviously looking to the track at Sebring, is it a favourite of yours? Did you get much seat time around here this week? I've been a bit vacant over the last 7 to 14 days. So has it been one of your favourite tracks to race around on?
Yeah, I don't mind. A lot of endurance racing in that here, or have done. Didn't really do much during the week. Had a hit out on Thursday night. About it, really. Bit of a warm-up before the actual server came up tonight. So, yeah. No, I do like the track. Great track.
Macca, you want to throw anything towards Daryl?
Oh, Daryl, great race, mate, and obviously out of P5. What was your plan off the start? Play it safe or get into it?
Wasn't safe. Wasn't even thinking about trying to get into first place, but I got a really good start and got up the inside of a couple there, I think, off the line, and straight into third, I think it was. And then the door just opened up for me there at one stage. I think Dave and someone come together, might have been Maddie. Had a little get together there, so that opened the door for me, so I snuck through there and tried to keep it clean. But yeah, that Matthew was right on it and pressuring the hell out of him tonight.
Well done, mate. Well done.
Stick around, Daryl. We'll get back to you, mate, with a little bit more talk and let you thank some sponsors. On to our second place sitter. He finished up second last week. He's backed it up with another second this week. Hopefully there was no penalty points to come your way, Dave. Unfortunately, that is a big, big hit for you in the championship, losing 60 points. But, mate, congratulations on second place. How did everything go for you tonight, and how's the car?
Great. Basically, it was a Stephen Bradbury, really. That last lap, I saw Daryl make a bit of a mistake, and he just threw it up there and kept them out. So, other than that, the race was pretty good. Made a few mistakes, let Jamie in. Bit of an unfortunate incident there with Jamie, but managed to regroup, and lucky for the safety car. Otherwise, I would have been in a world of hurt.
Mate, safety car did play, obviously, havoc with the field. Unfortunately, one of our drivers ran out of fuel on the track. Mate, obviously, safety car came out. What was your plan then? Obviously, it throws a spanner in the works. What were you thinking?
Win it or bin it. I just needed to get past. I wanted to get third. I know how tough Rehan is to pass, so it was just sort of stick with him. Hopefully they make a mistake, and yeah.
Macca, got anything for David Nash?
No, look, obviously, David, great drive, mate. And that little incident before the first pit stop, did you have much damage after that, or was the car still pretty good?
Yeah, no, straight line speed was terrible. I just kept getting past quite easily, so.
You've done well, mate, to obviously get that fast repair and fight back through and battle on with it, yeah?
Yeah, that was about it. So I had to do 2 laps like it was just to make the fuel stop, but with that safety car, helped me a lot as well.
Well done.
Dave, stick around, mate. We'll get back to you also with a bit more talk later on and look towards next week at Mosport. But ladies and gentlemen, from Ride Sim Racing, our race winner tonight, Matty Scholes, huge congratulations there, mate. How did everything go for you tonight, and how did you gel with the track?
It felt good. I'm a bit disappointed. I made a little error there and then got a slowdown, which pushed me back to 4th in the first stint. But, mate, the car felt really good. I'm really, really comfortable on this track. So, yeah, I knew I had pace if I could just get back up there. So it was just sort of trying to remain patient until the opportunity came.
Mate, you hold the fastest lap for the night with a 2:02.63. We saw you were on a charge after you copped that slowdown. Obviously, safety car came out, as we mentioned, and you're already out in the lead. But your pit time was mighty quick. Did you take much fuel on board then, or was it just a little bit of a just a top up?
I actually let it fill right up, so I'm just a bit lucky, I think. I didn't do anything out of the ordinary because I thought if we ran green all the way to the end, we were always going to be tight on fuel. So yeah, no, I definitely filled right up. But I just knew that if I could get myself back in front and eliminate the errors, then I had the pace basically to hold on tonight. So it's good to get the monkey off the back finally. I sort of failed a couple of times where I thought I should have been up a little bit closer to the front, so it's good.
Well, Macca and I were mentioning, we watched the pit times. You had a blistering pit time, but Daryl, you might be able to enlighten me here, mate. I believe your pits time was about 19.2 seconds. Is that correct?
I couldn't tell you, mate. I don't have visual on that sort of stuff.
Yeah, it was roughly 1.5 seconds longer than Matty Scholes.
Yep.
I felt like I was in the pits longer because you could tell, you could judge when we stopped and when we took off, and I overshot my pit bay a little bit and had to reverse back just a touch.
There we go. So I did call it, Macca. I did
You
call
did,
it. He did overshoot.
Eagle eyes.
Yes, there we go. So unfortunate, mate. But obviously you came into the pits, took some tyres, filled it right up. And then what was it after that, mate? Just send it to the finish, or?
Yeah, for sure. It was just head down, don't make any errors, and yeah, I knew I'd hold on if I could stay clean. So that's all it was. Just eyes forward and get on with the job.
Nah, good stuff, mate. Good stuff. Macca, I'll let you fire anything that you might have built up towards our race winner, Matty Scholes.
Yeah, I think you've covered most of it there, mate. But look, pole position, P1, fastest pit stop. But that for qualifying for a second, that pole lap, you were sort of 0.6 quicker on that lap than what you'd done previously. What did you find special in there?
Probably have to thank Nashy for that one. We went out together, and I was actually following him, so might have got a little bit of draft help there.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, bravo. I was just looking at it then, thinking it was you plucked that out, did a great job, and obviously put you in a good spot for the race. So well done, mate.
Yeah, thanks.
Looking towards next week, ladies and gentlemen and boys, we are off to Mosport. A favourite for some, not so much a favourite for others. As per usual, it suits others more than what Sebring would suit them this round. Dave, are you looking forward to Mosport?
Yeah, mate, I love it. Oh, that track's one of my favourites. It's just like Barber with the cambered corners. Really hard to overtake. There's only about 2 opportunities to do it, so you've got to qualify up the front.
Matty, what you looking forward to Mosport? Is that a track that you really love to throw these cars around up?
Mate, to be honest, I've only just got the track this week and haven't turned a lap yet, so I've got a bit of homework to do before next week.
That you do, mate. There is it's probably Mac would probably be able to relate to you on that one, and I'd be able to relate as well because I've done quite a few laps around Mosport as well. Mac, it's not an easy track, Mosport.
No, it's not. I've turned too many laps there recently, but look, it is a great track. It is one of my favourites as well. But yeah, it's a challenging track, undulating, on camber, off camber corners. It'll be interesting for these guys with a fixed setup to see how the car translates to both ends of the track, and obviously that double right-hander onto that long back straight. That's going to be key for everyone. So really looking forward to seeing what these guys can do next week.
Daryl, mate, obviously you looking forward to Mosport while we're still on the topic. Have you done many laps there?
Yeah, I've done quite a bit of racing there, and yeah, totally with Dave and Sean on everything they've just said. I'll back all that up, and yeah, don't worry, Matty. Once you get used to it, mate, that's a track you'll really like.
Well, there we go. It's Matty. You've heard it from the boys. It's a tricky track, but once you get that those lines right and you really start to feel comfortable with it, with the setup and the car around there, it's actually quite a fun track. So we'll bring up the see if JP can bring up the calendar for us, so we can look to the future ahead or beyond Mosport. There it is. We have bit of a change up. So there was round 9. We had brought in the back to home soil. So this is new to me as well. I did see it in the comment section, but we have now replaced Phillip Island with Hockenheim GP. So that is a new one for everybody, Macca.
Yeah, absolutely. I think everyone's hitting the download button real quick on that. But it should be good. Obviously running the full track as well. So it is going to be, I haven't turned a lap there yet. I haven't actually downloaded it. But feedback is good. Fast-flowing track, a lot of passing opportunities. Fairly well. Normally the GP tracks aren't really suited to the supercars. But this track seems to be pretty well suited to it. So looking forward to getting there, and it's going to be a great addition to the calendar.
After that, we are heading to Interlagos and then Charlotte Roval. After that, going over to Donington, Silverstone, Road Atlanta for one of many people's favourite tracks, and then over to Spa, Brands Hatch, and then finishing up down under with our Enduro Triple Crown over at Bathurst. We'll get over to thanking some of we'll thank the sponsors in just a moment. I should say we'll head into the championship points, the unofficial championships points. Oh, just relaying in the back of my ear here from our director. Okay, so excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, just hearing that this is the unofficial results, including the bonus points. So you get 5 bonus points for a clean, or should I say a fast qualifier, should I say pole position in qualifying, Macca, I believe. Is that true?
Yeah, clean race and qualifying. So, yeah, pole position and a zero incident race.
Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. So obviously you accumulate X's throughout the race as you drive around. So off tracks, you've got car contact, you've got a little bit of everything in there, and everything throws up an X on your screen. And obviously the more you get, the closer you get to serving a drive-through penalty. So obviously Matty Scholes copped a 5-point bonus there. Or you got the trifecta, I hear. There we go. So he got the trifecta. He got the clean race. That is 0 incident points. He got pole position. So that is another 5 points. And he got winner of the race. So that is, again, the trifecta. So he has gained a nice little buff there. So that puts Matty Scholes up on top with 970 points, followed by Daryl Hockey with 952. Nicky G now up into, or he holds his third position, I should say, with 950 points. Kai Turner, he gets demoted from first. He now is down into 4th position with 935. Dan Stevens with 930. Sam Noble with 920. We've got Dean Alessi down in 7th with 898 points. David Nash is holding, he's gone up 1 position into 8th position now with 873 points. Young Rehan drops 1 position into 9th with 866 points. And rounding out your top 10, ladies and gentlemen, Tony Gaffer holding strong there with 822 points tonight. Matty, we'll get over to you, mate. We'll give you the floor as the championship results just scroll on through there for the viewers at home, mate. We'll let you have the floor and thank some sponsors. Thank your team, mate. It's all yours.
Yeah, I'll just thank the boys that were the Riot boys and Ashley for helping me out on that quality lap, mate. Thanks for that. Yeah, that's it really, mate, to be honest.
Dave, we'll hand it to you, mate. You've got the floor for some sponsors.
The friends and family and just the right, some boys getting to tow Matty around and get him that qualifying 1. It's really nice of me.
As you do.
Hey, that's what team orders are, is it not?
Oh, I don't know about that.
Next
Daryl,
week there's a nice long straight.
Yep.
Yes. Next week there is a nice long straight. That is certainly true. Daryl, mate, wrap it up for the sponsors there, mate, before we continue on with a bit of chit chat later on in the post race here. You have the floor.
All right. Yeah. Well, first of all, you guys for broadcasting. It's always good to have something like this going on.
More than welcome.
You too, Matty. That was a sick race, mate. I really enjoyed that. Thanks heaps. Shout out to Liquid Molly, Snap-on Tools in Blacktown, Virtual Car Art, and Aussie Signs and Designs.
Beautiful, mate. Thank you. I did know what I was going to say, and now it's completely left my mind. I have had an absolute mental blank. There we go. Thank you, JP, for reminding me. As we wrap up tonight for you, ladies and gentlemen, for the Goodyear Autocare Warana V8T2 E-Series. Tomorrow night, Simshed Broadcasting goes to the 2 Up Friday. Sorry, that's no, we are Wednesday, not Thursday. So I am used to be saying the Thursday night streams, but there is none of that anymore. That is finished up. We head Friday Simshed Broadcasting heads to a little bit of Freaky Friday 2-up racing for the Gentlemen Sim Racing Club, live to you from 7:45 Australian Eastern Daylight Times. But don't get too used to those times. Start setting your alarm clock for the 7:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Daylight savings is over. That means Queensland is finally back on track with the rest of the world, or the rest of this side of Australia, down in New South Wales and Victoria and Tasmania. We all go back to the same time. We now start up at 7:30 p.m. So make sure you set an alarm. Keep an eye on the pages for whenever the stream goes live for the Nationwide Tracking Systems V8 Super Series, and then join us back here next Wednesday night for the V8 or Goodyear Autocare Warana V8T2 E-Series to watch these boys tear it up around Mosport Motor Park. Macca, obviously got a little bit of time, got a few minutes to go. Is there anything you want to mention, you want to bring up in the post-race show?
No, look, just firstly, thanks for letting me in the booth, let me loose tonight. But look, to everyone in the GAC series, it was great to sit here and watch, and there was some really good, hard, solid racing, and all done to the podium, of course, absolutely stunning. There was some really good battles there, and great call, Matt. Done a great job.
Thank you very much, mate. I do appreciate it. Next week, I have the ever so talented Zach joining me in the group. He has many years of experience in commentating, not just in the sim, but in the real world as well. So it is going to be an absolute pleasure to have him on board. I might even throw the floor over to him, let him take the lead, and I'll let you viewers at home who love to tune in and watch the Goodyear Autocare Warana V8T2 E-Series boys tear it up. I'll let him commentate that for the night, I think, because, mate, Macca, we watch him back on a Tuesday night, and Zach does an amazing job at calling these races.
He does. He's a brilliant announcer, and I've heard him live as well, so he does an absolutely stunning job. But look, if you want to dump me for the week, that's fine. I get it.
Hey, look, if you want to come in as another... He does go all right, but if you want to come in as guest commentator, mate, be my guest. It is always good having you in the commentary booth. It's always good to have a laugh. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Sean McNamara from the Nationwide Tracking Systems V8 Super Series that has joined us tonight. He is an experienced sim racer on his own and an experienced sim racer amongst all these boys. But obviously, tonight and Tuesday nights are not possible without, obviously, our sponsors. We have our main naming right sponsor tonight of Goodyear Autocare Warana for the V8T2 E-Series. Then we also have Blue Stampede, Labour Hire, and Abruzzi Raceway Australia as our co-naming rights. Then, obviously, we have the hybrid racing simulations for their championship points and for our race results. They do amazing stuff over there. So make sure to head over and check out some of the stuff they build. They make some gorgeous steering wheels, Macca, and I'm sure to get one soon in the future because you just can't take your eyes off them.
Good looking piece of kit, and I've actually got a set of their HE anodized pedal covers on my little rig here, and they're absolutely stunning. So yeah, certainly go check them out.
Definitely. And then obviously, guys, you've got SDK Gaming and also Track Cams for Gourmet, who bring you these amazing camera angles on your screen. But that is me for tonight. I need to go pop a strepsil. Obviously, being out of the seat for a couple of weeks now, it definitely takes its toll on the throat. So I am going to wrap it up tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us for another round of the V8T2 E-Series brought to you by Goodyear Autocare Warana. JP behind the cameras from Simshed Broadcasting, doing all the hard work for us while we sit here and just gas bag throughout the race. But join us next week at 7:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time because daylight savings is over, so don't forget to wind those clocks back for the Nationwide Tracking Systems V8T2 E-Series. And then let's back it up again on Wednesday night for the Goodyear Autocare Warana V8T2 E-Series. On behalf of Sean McNamara and JP, I'm Matt Davis. Thank you very much and good night.